Chapter 32. The Game of Life and Death. Carefree Valley. Guhai walked out of the Spirit Spring Cave, but no one in the valley crowd paid any attention to the sudden extra few people. Covering the cave entrance with charredwood, the few people headed towards the crowd on the other side of the giant grave. What a terrifying aura. Amongst these dark clouds, I feel a sword hanging over my head. Gao Xianzi looked at the sky with an ugly face. This is a formation. Carefree Valley is shrouded by a formation. What kind of formation is this? Chen Chanshan's face changed and said. Guhai looked at the sky. The sky was covered with dark clouds. A star that seemed to be dotted in the night shot down starlight in general, far away from the center of the land. There were two of the most scorchingly bright pillars of light rushing straight to the center of the land. More than 2,000 people looked at these corpses, but they were terrified and trembling. Some women were even crying continuously to cover up the fear in their hearts. Among the crowd, Guhai saw Song Qingshu. On top of the sea of corpses, the two of them were in the middle of the game, surrounded by more than 2,000 people, each staring at the chessboard in horror. What are they doing? Xiaoru looked at the scene in puzzlement. The one playing chess is the Earth Helmsman of the One Piece Hall, Meng Tai. Chen Chanshan's eyes lit up and said, Meng Tai. Guhai looked along with what Chen Chanshan was pointing at. However, he saw a gnarled man sitting on one side of the chessboard, maneuvering the white pieces to fall. Guhai's eyes narrowed slightly, still remembering the meaningful reminder before Master Liu Nian left. The one who was holding the black disc was a man in white. The man was currently staring above the chessboard in shock, his eyes showing panic. No, I clearly won just now. I clearly won, the man in white exclaimed. Meng Tai took a deep breath and said, the winner has already been decided. Sorry about that. I only blame the lack of time. Pa, a white seed of Meng Tai fell. Boom. Above the board, a large area of black discs was surrounded and instantly lifted out. Boom. The black disc suddenly dissipated, and the winner was instantly decided. White wins. A boom abruptly came from within the dark clouds. Rudder Master Meng won. Many people shouted, No, Meng Tai, you're shading me. You're shading me. I'm going to kill you. The man in white jumped up with glaring eyes, grabbing a sword and about to stab towards Meng Tai. Boom. Meng Tai slammed his fist into the tip of the sword. It immediately crashed back into the long sword. The man in white showed a scowl and was about to stab again. But at that moment, a sound of a sword ringing steeply rang out from the dark clouds. There Jin. As if a long sword was unsheathed, 100 feet long huge blade chi rushed straight towards the man in white. A sharp sound that tore through the void pierced Guhai's eardrums. The blade chi was invincible, coming straight at the white-clothed man. Too fast. The man in white had no time to fight Meng Tai again, and could only meet the sky with his sword in haste, while at the same time, his face showed a twisted hideous panic. No, with a hiss of despair, the long sword rushed into the sky. Boom. Sword chi, long sword, simply could not withstand the ferocity of 100 feet of blade chi. An instant all exploded, but also in the white man screamed miserably. In an instant, split it into 2 halves, 5 viscera and 6 bowels, along with the blood burst out, exploded and scattered in all directions, fell under the square platform. There was another burst of shrieks from all around. This is, Chen Chanshan and the others had a burst of scalp numbness. After losing a game of chess, he was cleaved to death by the blade chi condensed by the grand formation. Guhai, Gao Xianzi, and Xiaoru all turned pale. There were shrieks from all around, but no one left. Instead, they saw that on top of the chessboard, the pieces changed abruptly, transforming into a Waiki stalemate game. It's this handicap game again, the Heavenly Sword Life and Death game. Being selected by the grand formation, not playing is death, not making a move for more than 30 breaths, death. The loser dies. What should we do? I don't want to die. The people with weak hearts all around were terrified, Gu Hai's face also changed as he listened to the panic of the crowd. Looking up at the sky, this was a Jedi formation. Helmsman, the crowd of One Piece Hall disciples, said anxiously. Meng Tai took a deep breath and said, "It's not a problem. The rules of this realm, the remnant disciples of the Yichon Pavilion, are not allowed to take action against us. The people outside, they must have broken the rules. The remnant disciples of the Yichon Pavilion will soon notify the Grand Elder. As long as it drags on, someone will come to cure them." But the crowd of One Piece Hall people anxiously said, "The Heavenly Sword Life and Death Bureau. I'd like to see just how powerful the casual work of Elder Chess Viewer, the #1 in the world in the game Dao, is," Meng Tai coldly said. Bared Jin. "It's like 30 breaths without a drop. The Heavenly Sword will chop down." Song Qingshu's face changed and said. Gu Hai, however, stared at the chessboard, his eyes condensing. Heavenly Sword Life and Death Game. Pa. Steeply, a black seed seemed to be pulled by the starlight and suddenly landed on top of the board. Pa. The white disc fell. Pa. The black disc fell automatically. The game of chess was in the midst of slow changes. "This is playing against the old man chess watcher." Chen Chonchen revealed a look of astonishment. Gu Hai quietly looked at the chessboard and watched the game. The others, however, looked at Meng Tai expectantly, and after landing 18 discs, Meng Tai steeped his face in joy. Pa! A white disc fell and steeply surrounded a black disc. What? The black disc is surrounded. Countless cultivators in the valley instantly revealed a look of astonishment. Elder Chess Viewer's black disc is surrounded. How is that possible? Great, great. The black pieces have been lifted. Could it be possible to win? Sure enough, with a roar, the sky dark clouds are rolling, above the board, was surrounded by the black suddenly flew to the Meng Tai place, as if it was raptured, and above the sky, the heavenly sword also came straight at Meng Tai. Not good. Everyone's faces changed. Ong. Inside Meng Tai's body, there was a steep sound of a dragon's roar, but it was the true Qi that manifested a 10 feet long brown dragon. Shaped true Qi that surrounded Meng Tai's body and met the heavenly sword. This time, the heavenly sword is not chopped to Meng Tai, but as if it was raptured generally, was swallowed by the dragon-shaped true Qi. Ong. The 100-foot heavenly saber was swallowed by the 10-foot dragon-shaped true Qi, and the true dragon slowly rose a little bit, being raptured to strengthen its voice. Everyone's faces changed. Great, Rudder Master Meng is going to win. This is going to win. Many people cheered. Meng Tai also revealed a hint of exuberance in general. Snap, pa. The two sides continued to drop their pieces, and every few pieces, Meng Tai had to eat a black piece, dropping more and more pieces. In a short period of time, Meng Tai's victorious battles were consecutive, as if he was about to win a great victory. Long live Servant Meng, long live. Rudder Master Meng, win. Going to win, going to win. Finally, I don't have to die. A crowd of cultivators chanted and rose. The situation was great. They were about to win. Saved. One is saved. Everyone looked at Meng Tai with grateful gazes. The One Piece Hall disciples were all excited. While outside the crowd, Gu Hai's eyes narrowed slightly as he muttered to himself, "Wrong. Meng Tai played the wrong game from the start." What? Chen Chonchen looked at Gu Hai suspiciously from the side. Gu Hai shook his head and ignored it. Sure enough, as Meng Tai swallowed his 15th black disc, his face abruptly changed. With a brush, his face turned pale. Rudder Master Meng quickly dropped the disc. The crowd shouted anxiously. How can this be? How can this be? Meng Tai looked at the chessboard in horror. Helmsman Meng, hurry up. The crowd anxiously said. Shut up. Meng Tai let out a furious rebuke. Everyone's excitement stopped, and they looked at Meng Tai in confusion. Bare your guts. 30 breaths of time was quickly approaching, and a heavenly blade suddenly hung above Meng Tai's head. At this moment, the discs must fall. Meng Tai had no choice but to quickly drop a white disc. Snap! As the white disc fell, a black disc also suddenly appeared. Dragon Slayer. Gao Xianzi's face changed. Huh, what dragon slaying? Is it slaughtering dragon-shaped true qi? Xiaoru said in disbelief. No. Slaughtering the dragon is a term from Go, meaning that Meng Tai is going to have a large swath of white pieces that are going to be instantly strangled by his opponent. Gao Xianzi explained. Sure enough, as that black disc fell. Boom, boom, boom. Large swathes of white discs were lifted up and eaten by black discs. In the blink of an eye, the wind and clouds changed. Just a moment ago, Meng Tai had 115 discs. In this instant, it all changed. Meng Tai was playing 15 times, each time swallowing a black disc, but the old man who watched the game used only one time and swallowed his opponent's 38 discs at a time. At once, the winner was decided. After swallowing the 38 discs, the black position was even more overwhelming, and in that instant, the white discs had nowhere to escape, and in the blink of an eye, they were defeated and routed. No. How could this happen? It was still winning just now. Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Countless cultivators were dumbfounded, as if they were wooden chickens, looking above the chessboard in horror. Meng Tai was also looking horrified. He had been sorted in an instant. Ha 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 ha. Black wins. A loud laugh from the ninth prince came from within the dark clouds. The laughter was filled with scorn, as if he was disdainful of Meng Tai. Boom! Suddenly, 38 heavenly swords appeared within the dark clouds. As soon as the huge swarm of heavenly sabers came out, a blistering murderous aura rushed straight out, and the void was suddenly frozen out by the murderous aura in the form of frost and snow. The 38 heavenly sabers carried a great aura, wanting to decimate Meng Tai in an instant. No. Asshole. I am the Earth Helmsman of the One Piece Hall. How dare you? Meng Tai shrieked. Boom. The 38 heavenly swords boomed straight down, a heaven-destroying aura rushing to Meng Tai in an instant. Ong. Meng Tai's dragon-shaped true qi rushed up to the sky. 60 feet of dragon-shaped true qi, with a hideousness, rushed straight to a host of heavenly swords. Boom. A loud bang, collision of monstrous sizzling bright, stabbing everyone suddenly, could not open their eyes, berserk breath, but also set off a storm in general. Everyone was instantly lifted out. Rumble. At the center of the explosion, there was more than just the sound of rumbling. Ong-woo. A mournful sound of a dragon's roar came out, and Guhai vaguely saw a brown true dragon burst apart in the middle of the ruins. Boom. After the last loud bang, calm fell, and more than 2,000 cultivators rose from the ground, looking at the center of the rolling smoke in horror. The square chess platform was still there, and Meng Tai actually didn't die under the 38 heavenly swords. However, at this moment, Meng Tai was already a bloody mess, as if his flesh had suffered a death by 1,000 cuts as he fell into a large pit on the side. In the big pit, there is still a piece of earth-colored shield in general, only that earth-colored shield at the moment has been covered with spider web-like cracks. Helmsman Meng is still alive. That's the Earth God Shield of the One Piece Hall. It's also the strongest defense amongst the Yuanying level magic treasures, the Earth God Shield. It protected Rudder Master Meng, but the Earth God Shield is broken. The Earth God Shield isn't even working anymore. The crowd revealed a look of horror. Rudder Master, a crowd of One Piece Hall disciples quickly swooped over, helped Meng Tai up, and quickly fed him pills. Pfft. A mouthful of blood spurted out from Meng Tai. But the game isn't over yet. Just wait. It'll be your turn again soon. I'd like to see. How many Earth God shields do you have? Meng Tai was in the middle of a convulsion. Helm Master, what should we do now? The disciple of the One Piece Hall was worried. Everyone looked towards Meng Tai. He was the only one who survived, although he was horribly injured. Stall 4 time. Yichon Pavilion won't not care. Meng Tai spoke out with difficulty. After saying that, Meng Tai seemed as if he could no longer move, containing an elixir and going limp. A group of One Piece Hall disciples quickly shielded Meng Tai, everyone in the large formation at the top of their heads, and revealed a look of despair. The worse the loss, the more gruesome the extermination from the great formation. Next, whose turn was it? It's all right, the helmsman said to stall for time. It must be stalled, Song King Shu called out from the side. The crowd nodded, but there was still a look of despair in their eyes, waiting for the rescue of the great elder of the Yishin Pavilion. Was it possible? In the innate remnant realm, the entrance to a large hall. The large hall's door was open, but the interior was so gloomy that it was impossible to see the slightest bit of the interior, and outside of the large hall, there was a man in black kneeling on one knee. Grand Elder, the 9th Duke has used the Heavenly Blade Life and Death Bureau to besiege more than 2,000 outsiders right here in the Wireless Valley. The elders are very much divided. Please make a choice, Grand Elder, the man in black respectfully said. In the dark hall, there was a general silence, and it took a while before a ghostly voice came out. I know about Xiaoju's matter. I know, Yichon Pavilion, do not meddle in their matters. But, this time, they have indeed gone too far. Yui's voice came out. Grand Elder, should we stop the 9th Prince? The man in black respectfully said. There is no need. When the matter of Carefree Valley is over, then inform Xiaoju not to make a move, and also teach this group of outsiders the rules. Although the pavilion master has perished, my Yichon Pavilion, after all, was once a superior sect. Anyone who comes here shall not be unbridled as well. A ghostly voice came out. Yes, subordinate understands. In the Carefree Valley. No, it's not me. It's not me. A beam of light enveloped a grey-clothed man, and the man collapsed in general panic on the spot. The grey-clothed man did not step onto the chess stage in his panic, shouting in terror at the dark clouds, kneeling down and begging for forgiveness, begging the people in the outside world to let him off the hook. Boom! A heavenly blade instantly chopped down, and before that grey-clothed man had time to scream, he was instantly chopped in half, and his flesh and blood were a blur. The sound of terrified hissing came from the valley once again. Endless despair enveloped the crowd. Despair. I love hearing this kind of despair. Ha 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 ha. Again, a sinister laughter came from the dark clouds. Buzz. Steeply another beam of light shot straight down, instantly enveloping one person, Song King Shu. Chen Chonchen exclaimed from a short distance away. The light enveloped Song King Shu. Song King Shu was chosen as the next person to die. No. Helmsman Meng, save me, save me. How is it me? I don't want to die. Song King Shu instantly shrieked. Stall the time, play as I did earlier in the chess game, and wait for the people from the Game Heaven Pavilion to make their move, tuning in with difficulty, he said, and settled down once again. Stalling time. Song King Shu's face was ugly as he slowly stepped onto the chess platform. Stepping onto the chess stage, in an instant, everyone suddenly lowered their heads, as if they were afraid to make eye contact with Song King Shu. Song King Shu stood on the platform, his face ugly as he swept below. Wherever his eyes went, many people avoided, as if they were fleeing from the plague. Must pick an opponent within 30 breaths. Who to pick? Who? Song King Shu was anxious for a while. His eyes inadvertently glanced at Meng Tai. Perhaps Meng Tai could no longer play chess. Picking him, he would definitely lose. He himself could stall for more time. But how long could he stall? And Song King Shu forced himself to resist this desire. His eyes continued to scan the crowd. Steeply, Song King Shu's face changed. He saw Gu Hai and his party. Gu Hai. Song King Shu's eyes steeply glared angrily. Below, Gu Hai frowned slightly. The cultivators around Gu Hai ducked away, and in the twinkling of an eye, Gu Hai's party was exposed to everyone. I choose him, Gu Hai. Song King Shu shouted as he pointed at Gu Hai. Buzz. Steeply, a starlight from the dark clouds landed on Gu Hai, Gu Hai became the chosen one. Kid, quickly go to the stage, or else the heavenly blade will be chopping at you, someone called out kindly. Song King Shu, how dare you? You want the helmsman to die. Chen Chanshan's face changed as he glared. Song King Shu's face grimaced as he said, whoever I choose, one will die, me first or him first. HMPH, Gu Hai, resign yourself to your fate. My game Dao, which is inferior to Meng Helmmaster's, is certainly stronger than yours, who hasn't played chess in 30 years. You die. I want you to die. Gu Hai showed a cold smile on his face. Song King Shu, I've already given you 3 chances. This is the 4th. Gu Hai slowly stepped towards the chess stage. It's been 30 years since I've played chess with someone. Do you still want to win against me? Song King Shu coldly said. Outside the heavenly remnant realm, on top of the white clouds flying boat, Long Wanqing and Grandmaster Liu Nian were in the middle of a game. That's not right, Grandmaster. Gu Hai said that he hadn't played chess in 30 years. Is he just being perfunctory? Is he that good at layout? Long Wanqing frowned and asked. Grandmaster Liu Nian shook his head and said, he's not perfunctory, he just doesn't want to win you. Then he's cheating me. Long Wanqing frowned. Neither. It's just that you didn't understand what he said. Master Liu Nian shook his head and laughed. Oh, when he said that he hadn't played chess with anyone in 30 years, he didn't mean that he hadn't played chess in 30 years. Grandmaster Liu Nian laughed. Isn't that the same? Long Wanqing said doubtfully. It's not the same. Grandmaster Liu Nian shook his head.